It's a new week, so it's a new reading vlog in which I try to read down my 300 plus TBR, and we're actually not at 300 anymore. If you saw last week's vlog, you will have seen that I did a big massive ebooks clean out, and I will have that video linked because I also did a whole dedicated video talking about all of the ebooks that I was going through. But I am now under 300 books on my TBR, and that is so exciting. So let's get into the numbers about where we're starting this week at. So in total, I'm at 256 books on my TBR. Again, finally under that 300 mark, which just feels so good. I am very proud of myself for that. So yeah, let's break this down further into formats just so you can kind of see where my TBR is in terms of what formats I'm reading. So my ebooks are at 41. Again, I did that big ebooks clear out, so I'm very proud of this number only being 41, especially because I don't really read ebooks and I don't really enjoy reading ebooks. So I'm glad that there are only 41 left on my TBR. For audiobooks, I have 112, and for physical books, I have 103. So those are the numbers. I'm very proud of them, and let's see how much I can read this week to bring these numbers down even lower. My goal is pretty much to try and read all of the books on my TBR by the end of the year. I obviously know that that's not going to happen because I don't even reach 200 books in a year, so I'm just hoping to get my TBR down as much as possible. That is kind of the whole goal. I feel like I need to state that in every video. I don't know, but let's talk about what I'm currently reading. So for the past few weeks, I have been reading Jane Eyre. It is a classic, and I don't really read classics. They're not my preferred genre, I guess, of books, but I am slowly making my way through this one. I'm about 50 pages in. My progress has been slow, but I'm trying to get myself into the habit of reading a little bit of it each day. I'm also about 70% of the way through Well Actually, which is an ebook that I'm reading. This one actually doesn't come out till August. I don't know if I've ever said that in the last week's vlog, but yes, this one doesn't come out till August, I believe, and I was sent an ebook copy of it by the publisher, and this is my favorite author, so I do believe that I will finish this one this week. That one's pretty much a guarantee. And then I'm also planning on starting Opinions this week, and this is going to be my audiobook, and it is a nonfiction, and it's a bunch of essays, I believe, so I'm excited to get into this one. But those are my plans for the week. I don't really have too many big plans for the week because I am starting at a new store. So it's going to be a bit of a change and getting used to my new work schedule. And it is further away from my house, so I have to get used to that drive, but it's gonna be fine. So yeah, I will update you when I have read something or something happens. Hello, and welcome to a very cold, very gloomy day in which I talk about stuff that I have not talked about for the entire week. Because it is pretty much the end of the week. Technically, this vlog is going to be ending tomorrow, but this is the first time I am updating. I believe it's the first time I'm updating. Either way, life has been lifing. So I think I talked about how this week I would be changing stores, and I did start at the other store. It's going fine. It's going really good. I really like the store, and like all the people who are there who I've met so far. They're all very nice. The store is definitely a project in that like it needs a lot of work, which is keeping me busy, and when I'm busy at work it makes the day go by faster, so I really can't complain about anything. There's not much there to talk about. However, I did get a promotion, which is very exciting, I guess. It's exciting, but it means I will be going back to my old store that I just left for that promotion. So anyways, again, it's the day before this vlog ends, and I guess there are some things to talk about. So far this week, I have read some stuff. I finished Well Actually, which is a book that I knew I was going to finish this week, and I have some opinions, or really I don't have many opinions, I guess. I have talked so highly about this author So their previous 5 books have all been 5 stars. Every single one of them have been 5 stars, absolute favorites. And I was really excited for this one, obviously, because it's their newest release. However, this one fell kind of flat to me. And I don't know if this is because it was sort of like fan fiction. And it's like pop culture, celebrity fan fiction that I'm not aware of. I don't keep track of that stuff. So since this is so heavily based around something that I don't know anything about, I'm not interested in caring about, I feel like reading this, you can very much see that it's based on something else. And like, I don't know, something about the way it was written just felt very off to me. I don't like the idea of people writing fan fiction based on real people, and I feel like you could tell while reading this book that that's what it was, and it just had a very off feeling to me. And I don't know if other people have the same opinions. This book isn't out yet. It doesn't come out for quite a few more months. I think it comes out in August, but there was just something about the writing of this that just felt really weird to me. But, you know, it was still an objectively good book in the sense that I really liked the characters. I liked how they interacted with each other. I liked the whole plot and how everything came together at the end. And it was a really cute book. It still had this author's known sense of humor in this book, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, this book, there was just something that didn't work for me. And so I ended up giving it 3 stars, which is very disappointing because I was on such a good streak with this author. But, you know, not every book is going to be for me. I can't love every single book that I read. And then the other book that I read was Opinions, and this is one that I listened to the audiobook of, and it was really great. It's a collection of like essays that the author has done for different news publications, I guess, like the New York Times, things like that. And I really enjoyed them. I thought it was a great collection overall. Obviously, some I cared more about than others. Like I just mentioned about, well, actually, I don't really care too much about pop culture, and some of these essays had to do with pop culture. They were still interesting. They just weren't necessarily my thing. But overall, this collection, I'm giving it a 4-star rating, which I say is really good for a collection. But yeah, this was a really good audiobook. And then I'm not sure if I mentioned this one before, but Love and Bloom. This is one I ended up DNFing. I just couldn't get into the audiobook of it. I think I might try it, like checking it out from the library as a physical book, maybe an ebook, I don't know. But it is one that I could see myself trying again, just probably not the audiobook. So yeah, I did get that one off my TBR as well. I'm also about 70 pages into Jane Eyre, so I'm still making some progress in it. I might read some more of it today since I do have the day off today, but yeah, I am still making progress in that. And then I did start Adrift and Currents Clean and Clear by Seanan McGuire, and this one, I do not own this one, so it doesn't count for my challenge. However, it is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. My hold for it came in at the library, and I am about 80% of the way through it. It's a very short book, so it is one that I plan to finish today, and I will probably come back to give it a little update. It is still very early, but yeah, I will be finishing that one. And then yesterday I did start an audiobook of Honey and Spice, and this is a romance set in college, and I'm really enjoying this one so far. I'm really surprised at my enjoyment of it. I really hate books that are set in school, specifically high school. And college, I'm a bit iffy, and this is one of the books set in college that I'm actually really enjoying, which was a very lovely surprise. But this one follows our main character, who has a sort of talk show, radio show kind of thing. And there's this new guy at the school who all of the girls are going after. And since they are going to school together, they do have some run-ins with each other. She is interested in him, but doesn't necessarily like him just because he is more of a player, and he finds her very interesting. And I'm not totally sure, but I have a feeling that they're going to have to work together on a school project later on. But yeah, I am really enjoying this one so far. I'm about 20% into it. This one I definitely will not be finishing today. The audiobook is, I think I have like 6 hours left in it, so that's definitely not going to happen today. But I am reading it and enjoying it, so that was a nice one. And then today, when I first woke up, I decided that since I had done that ebooks video and I DNF'd a bunch of books that I had on NetGalley, I decided to go ahead and put all of my reviews in for that just to get it off my shelf and to, I guess, boost my review score, although I'm not really requesting any books. However, while I was on there, I did decide to go look at some of the books that they had there, not to request them, but I was just interested to see what books were going to be coming out soon, and I did find one. It wasn't one that I requested, it was Read Now, so you know. I mean, it does hurt my review score and I don't want to use NetGalley anymore. However, it was just one that I was very intrigued by, and so I downloaded it. That book is Get It Out, which is on the history of hysterectomies, which I find very interesting. And it is just one of those books that I feel like I would learn a lot from, but also really enjoy the reading experience of. And so I ended up getting it. And I did read the author's note, which I really enjoyed. So I guess I started that book. But since I downloaded it, it is now one that is adding a book to my TBR. But it is a short one. I think it's only like 200 pages. So it should be one that I can read through very quickly. But those are the books that I have read recently, that I'm going to be reading, all of that stuff. And like I said, I have the day off, so I do plan on reading a lot today, especially since it is such a rainy, cold day. I feel like it's just like the perfect weather to just sit down all day and read. But other than that, my only plans are to edit the like video description and stuff for last week's vlog, so I will also be doing that. But yeah, that's it for this update. I will probably update again later today when I have finished something, but that is all for this update. I feel like this was a very long update, but I haven't updated in many days, so there's a lot to talk about, but I will see you all in the next clip. Hello, it is the next day. I never actually updated again yesterday, and that's just because I was having a very lazy, chill day. So I actually didn't read as much as I thought I would, but I did finish Adrift and Current Clean and Clear, and I really loved it. This is the 10th book in the series, and the even books are always my favorite because it is actually exploring the world. And if you didn't know that about the series, the odd books are the children coming back from these worlds, and the even books are them going to their worlds and exploring them. And so it's an interesting setup for a series, but this is the 10th one. So we're exploring this new character, going to this world, and I really loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I am just really excited to see where else this whole series goes, how long the author is going to continue it, because I really enjoy getting to see all of these children get to explore their world and find out about themselves and what they really need in life. They're just very wholesome, short novellas, and it is a series that I have been loving. I'm just really interested to see what else the author does with this series. I also got about 30% into Honey and Spice, so I am still reading that one. And then I'm also about 10% into Get It Out. This is the one book that I did get yesterday, and I did end up starting it yesterday, and it's really good, very informative so far, so I'm excited to see how that one goes. And then of course I am still reading Jane Eyre. I'm about 70 pages into this book, but I am really enjoying it now. It has started to pick up. I'm getting like more into the flow of the writing, so I do anticipate getting to read this one a bit quicker now that I'm actually getting more into the story. But that is this week. Let's talk about the stats that I'm ending off on for this week. And yeah, not much happened this week really. I was very busy, but hopefully now that I'm a bit more in the flow of being at this news store, I will get back into reading as much as I usually do. But let's talk about my ending stats. So I did add 2 books to my TBR. We have Get It Out and then Backhanded Compliment, and this one I actually got today. The publisher sent me an email asking me if I wanted to read the ebook of this one, and absolutely, it is a sapphic enemies to lovers, I believe, and so I'm really excited to get to this one, but it did add another book to my TBR. And then I did read 3 books this week. I finished Well Actually by Mazey Eddings. I finished the audiobook for Opinions, and then like I just talked about, I finished Adrift and Currents Clean and Clear. And then I also DNF'd 1 book today, and that is Love and Bloom. I also talked about this one yesterday, I believe, but it is one that I would potentially try and pick up again, just in a different format. So 4 books got off of my TBR, and then I added 2, so really the only difference this week was 2 books, which is still progress, which we love to see. In total, my TBR is at 225 books. Breaking that down by the different formats, my ebooks are at 42, my audiobooks are at 110, and my physical books are at 103. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but like I say, hopefully next week is a bit better. Hopefully I don't actually get any more books onto my TBR, and yeah, we will just see how next week goes, and I will see you all next week in a new reading vlog. Bye!